Hello everyone, welcome back. So we're back with the SEO lecture today, and today's session is I'm going to share the ultimate search engine optimization workflow that will help you get any kind of article in the first page of Google search, right? Interesting, right? So we have already started our blog so far. Yesterday we have completed the technical checklist of SEO. So the technical checklist was basically to ensure that the site is mobile friendly, it loads fast. We had to link our Google Analytics plugin. We have in fact installed a Yoast SEO plugin in that, and we have also tied it up to Google Search Console so that it come, the crawlers start noticing our Startup Funding Summit blog. Awesome, right? So if you have completed the technical checklist, do watch this video. Otherwise, go back, watch my video, complete the technical checklist. Also, we have done keyword research yesterday, right? So I just wanted to summarize that a bit before we move on to the next set of before we move on to this thing. So I'm just going to open that keyword list that we have tried to do, right? So the approach was very simple. What we have followed was a very simple approach. We actually looked for keyword ideas from Wikipedia, broad keyword ideas from Wikipedia, uh, and we then moved them into uh, an Excel sheet, and we started using tools like Keyword Shitter, if you remember. And we've got a lot of keywords here, right? So the topics we took is startup funding, and in that these are the keywords that we came up with, right? So how did I get these keywords from? I used this keyword shitter tool, and we also used the Uber suggest tool. We also used the Google keyword planner tool, right? So for all this we could get the data from Google keyword planner, right? So we could actually get the search volume data of all these keywords from Google keyword planner, and then we started focusing on certain keywords, right? So one of the keywords that we discovered was good was venture capital, and we thought that was a good keyword to focus on. And stages of venture capital. This is a long tail keyword. We have even covered what is a body and a long tail keyword. It is nothing but a big phrase, not just a broad category word like marketing or funding, which is very huge, right? Like, so a lot of it is very vague to target those kind of words. So we generally focus targeting broad and long tail keywords, phrases which actually have very specific meaning, so that they actually end up converting, right? So I'm also going to open Google Keyword Planner. So Keyword Planner is now part of Google AdWords. So when we put this, it will take us to my Google Ads account. So yesterday we even explored this thing. So yeah, so we went to the tools section, and in the tools section of the Google AdWords, we would find the keyword planner, right? So just click on the tools section here, and the keyword planner would pop up. So once you have nailed down your keywords, uh, all I have to do is like copy paste these keywords. I'm not copy pasting all of them. I'm just copy pasting a few of them, just so that I could show you properly how it works, right? Then a bunch of other things that, yeah, something like this. Something I think is relevant and what we want to talk about, and like there is something like a checklist, and there is a found something like a checklist here, right? Yeah. So this is something I'm interested in. Um, a checklist kind of a thing, because everybody wants to know, or at least the founders would want to know. Let's say I just want to check for these four words, right? So if you see these four words, for these two there is not enough data, enough monthly search volume, but these are the clicks that it is providing. And it is in fact the planning sheet. I'll take you to the historical metrics. So these are the average monthly searches that are happening here. A startup funding keyword has anywhere between 1000 to 10,000 searches a month. This has anywhere between 10 to 100 searches a month. This is anywhere between 10k to 100k searches a month. And the page bids are on the lower end, like around 7 rupees, 8 rupees, right? So, like this, I have asked you to pick a lot of ideas like this and see what was the data you are getting. So, let's just copy paste all these ideas again and see what we could get from here, right? So, this is how the campaign would work actually. So, let's just add more keywords from. So you have to go again to the start and yeah, and now I put all the keywords again, right? So I'm waiting for the data. I want to see the historic metrics of what's happening. So I sorted it from top to bottom so that I get the highest search volumes one on the top. Ideally, we are interested in the 500 to 2500 band, like I said, right? So if you see, these are the ones: startup funding, Bangalore, business startup funding. These are the words that people are actually searching for and funding for small businesses. These are the highly competitive keywords. Government funding for startups. See how much is the page bid. This is the range because it's an auction. Sometimes the bid will be low, sometimes the bid will be high based on number of advertisers competing for this keyword, right? So we fairly knew that our venture capital financing was one of the keyword where we wanted to focus on, and in fact we have made that keyword here, right? And we also wanted to focus on startup funding because that's also in the range of this thing. These are the bunch of keywords that I want to focus on and probably write about, right? And because we are ultimately going to talk about startup funding in the startup funding summit scene, right? So far clear, guys. So we have arrived at this keyword list now. So now, let's say we pick this venture capital keyword right now. Venture capital financing is a long tail keyword, right? Let me just search for this and see who are all the relevant searches that are coming, right? The first two searches are advertisements. They are AD is written. So this is Udemy, this is something else. And then I got Wikipedia. Then I got EduPristine that is explaining something. Then they have Investopedia that is giving some definitions and all, right? And then there are a bunch of news companies that are written. Uh, Somewhere here, Delaware Sea Corporation, INC 42 is here, Forbes is here, right? So all these are like high authority, you know, high domain authority sites, right? Because it's such a broad keyword. So if you have not installed Mozbar tool, Mozbar is the tool name. Install that. It's a Chrome extension. It's a Google Chrome plugin. It's a very simple installation. Just type Mozbar Chrome plugin, and you will be able to install that. Right. So here, what does Mozbar do? Mozbar shows the domain authority of the Let me just yeah. It's waiting. Yeah, the content will get generated a bit because I have some pop-up blockers installed on my system for security reasons. That's why the Moz is not throwing the results right. So I have to refresh the page for for me to get the domain authority and page authority, right? So let's just wait until the SERP metrics or the search metrics actually come loaded, right? Uh, so yeah, so these pings have come up, the page authority and domain authority, right? So if you see here, this page has 574 links to it. Obviously, this is Wikipedia. They have a lot of backlinks from other content sites and a lot of content writers for definitions actually refer to Wikipedia. And see this page has 37 links, and this page Investopedia has 1136 because it's a definition, and everybody who wants to define uh, venture capital would actually link this definition, right? So that's how they get this thing. If I click what are those links, some of those links will be shown. I mean, it could be anybody who is trying to define them, right? So, so you see there are a lot of links that are coming from Bing, Google, Medium. Yeah, we don't get all the things because we are not on a paid tool. If you go through the paid tool, you would get a lot more results about what links are coming and who is actually the inbound links, who are the linking domains, from which domains are coming. See, these are all the these are all high authority domains that are linking to this particular page, right? Understood? So great. We'll move back to again from where we started. Let's look at somebody whom we can beat. See this Economic Times article. This has 0 links and this has 10 links. So this is something achievable, right? Like if I push, I should be able to convince 4 or 5 people to come and give me backlinks. So all these are places that I can do. I can do away with them, and I could definitely improve my domain authority over a period of time, like around 40, 50 is something that I can meet. Also, these have 0 backlinks, and that too, this is coming from businessjazz.com, and right, so they have completely no backlinks. So I can definitely come somewhere in the first 4 5 results, not definitely in the top 10. Eventually, maybe I can come till here if I really understand what these guys are trying to write. Let's open and see what these guys are trying to write. So they basically written a definition, and they have written who it is for, and they have written a long article on methods, idea generation, submission, term sheet. So something like a checklist definitely looks very very useful here. If I can create a nice article around a 100 point checklist or something, I think it it should look very good, right? Okay, don't worry. We're just loading the page. Nothing is happening here. So, so I'm just looking at what was the checklist idea that we were searching. Yeah. So this is the idea that I was looking for. Startup funding checklist, right? So let me see if anybody is there in this search result. So I'm going to go to Google. Just type for this checklist and see who all are coming in this checklist thing, right? And I'm going to wait for the Moz bar to show up the results again. So we have got the results. Again, if you see here, the first one is Founders Checklist for Startup Fans. That is a title, and slash Toptal, that is a brand name. If you see, the title also has a format, right? So this is the, if you see the exact keyword, Startup Funding Checklist, this broad keyword phrase is there in the title. And this brand, Toptal.com is the brand. They are also putting the brand keyword in every particular page. If you see, that is more or less the, if you see HubSpot, they have startup checklist, and they have HubSpot in the same, and they have 0 backlinks, but HubSpot has a very very high domain authority. Even Toptal has a very high domain authority, right? uh, this is something that we could easily beat, right? Master checklist for my business professor. I mean, this has 0 backlinks and uh, you know uh, 28 domain authority. I mean, this is something that we could easily beat, and we can come in the top 3. So this looks like a good start for me. I'm just going to look at so basically how you are looking at is where are the opportunities and where can you produce better content than other people are producing, right? That's how you are planning to get your articles into the top pages of your list. And once you have a bunch of your articles coming in the top search results, automatically your organic traffic is growing. And once you have a lot of organic traffic going into your site, in fact, let's see what is the search volume for this, right? Uh, if I just look at what is the search volume for this, so I'm just going to go to keyword planner and put the word here and see how much volume is coming here in historic terms. Uh, India, I'm not sure how much search volume is there. So India's historic search volume, I think this word has very very low. search volume data. That's probably one of the reason why there has been no contender on this. So these are some things that we need to check across. Sometimes the idea might look very fascinating, but if nobody is searching for it, that means it's not going to get a great deal of traffic as well. That's why we look at at the traffic angle too, right? So let's finalize on something. So let's say then we have to go back to our initial idea of venture capital funding, which we have been stuck to. So we have been considering venture capital funding a startup checklist. So I've made up my mind. I would want to see what kind of articles are coming up when I search for venture capital funding. So let me just put venture capital financing here and see. Uh, Let me see if I give a space here, what keywords people are typing for, right? So if people are typing for how to what kind of long tail keyword can see, there are people who are typing for stages of venture capital funding, types of venture capital funding, venture capital financing, meaning importance of venture capital funding. So these are all the key ideas that Google is suggesting that we actually do. In fact, we have installed an important plugin, like we can basically enable this keywords everywhere plugin, which we have installed yesterday. It's also a Chrome plugin. It's a nice to have. I mean, it's compulsory actually. If you're doing SEO, always keep it on. And yeah, once we switched it on, I think we need to reload the page again. It's because of this pop-up blocking thing I have enabled on my system. Yeah. So if you see here, I mean, we have when we put venture capital financing, right? Like we were searching for the keywords. Like if you see here, a lot of keywords we are able to see the search volume. This is 1,000 per month, and this is the wedding and stages of venture capital financing, methods of venture capital. In fact, this was the one which is like a very low search volume. But the overall, all this together, this is a keyword that everybody is typing in for, and venture capital financing, and let's see what comes after that in India. In meaning, yeah, in India is about 170 searches a month, right? So we can look at much better keywords. Let's see, startup, how to get startup funding. Let's see. How to get startup funding has 720 search. This is a very specific long tail search. And see, this the first thing that gets here is 9 ways to uh, get your startup funded, and that's a blog by Quicksprout. And Quicksprout has identified this, and they are actually ranking for the first two links here, right? And you just see, this is also a Quicksprout link, and this is also a Kickstart link, right? So in fact, if we also run Moz, we'll come to know, yeah, Moz is running. So if you see how many backlinks they've got a lot of backlinks, a ton of backlinks. So they have 27 backlinks here, and they have 143 backlinks here. This is a usual technique that people are using these days, 10 tips kind of a thing. I'm going to share this hack as well, right? So far we got a pretty neat idea on what we are trying to look at. Let's just pick one of these things, and like startup funding is a keyword. Let's say we want to take and see what's the search volume, and what are the ideas that we need to look at while getting this particular thing, right? Like I just put startup funding. I'm going to keyword planner, and I'm seeing what keywords it's actually suggesting me, and what's the historical search volume, right? So see, there's about 1K to 10K monthly search volume. It's a pretty neat search volume, but this is like a broad keyword. It's like a body keyword. Uh, so we need something like a long tail keyword that that kind of has a decent search volume. Startup funding India, startup funding companies, startup funding stages, startup funding process. Uh, so I believe these are the things that people are looking for, right? And startup funding here is 2,400. So more or less, this data is over a range. Nobody is accurate around this. So we could actually come up in top of startup funding, right? And the idea can be something like 9 ways to get startup funded. In fact, you could now say 101 ways to get startup funded or 11 ways to get startup funded can be a nice idea that I can, take an inspiration from. I can take an inspiration from here and actually, improve this particular topic, right? And but then there are a lot of backlinks also which I need to get to actually beat these guys. So let me see what other value we could offer in this thing. So far, so this was a recap. Let's get back to our actual this thing and see what are the steps that we are going to follow to get our ultimate SEO. So it's pretty simple, right? We want to write content that people are searching for and people love reading, and we want to write content that helps people. So that's the basic, guys, right? Before we get into this metrics, nitty gritty, technicalities, and everything, let's keep if you keep it simple, people want to read content which solves their problem. If I am searching for startup funding, I might want to know how to get funding for my startup, right? So if you think, then the article that you write should actually solve this problem or give content that provides value to me. Fair, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to write a content that follows these SEO guidelines, right? Yesterday we have used Yoast plugin and we have set title and meta description and keywords there. Like that, for every page we have to write proper title, proper meta description, and proper keywords. That's how SEO works. These are the three things that search engines read to understand what keywords are being used and are these keywords relevant to the search keywords that people are searching. So a little while ago I have shown, right, when we were checking for venture capital funding, in the title itself venture capital funding was coming in the Google results. So that was what I was striving to show, right? And the second thing would be, once we write our blog, we need lot of backlinks that improve our page authority. So how do we get backlinks? We request people to give backlinks, right? So if we get backlinks or links pointing to our site from higher domain authority links, let's say from YouTube, from LinkedIn, from Twitter, and from these are social media, from Udemy, from Coursera, from SlideShare, from other top blogs like Neil Patel. I mean, a lot of blogs are there which have high domain authority, right? So the closer the number to 100, that is high, as high as authority. Domain authority is measured on a scale of 0 to 100. Anything above 50, 60 is a very good domain authority. So you should ideally try to get the backlink from the most valuable people so that you become authority again. And then eventually you would come on top search results if you have right backlinks, then right content, and people are clicking on your content. Google will eventually move your content up the ladder. Like you might come in the 10th place and then slowly to 5th place, slowly to 3rd place, and so on, and eventually you'll come in the top place. Once you come in the top place, there's a lot of traffic that will come because by the search volume. If 1,000 people are searching for that query, typically the first result will get 30% or 40% of the clicks, right? So you will get 300, 400 people to visit your site. That's awesome organic traffic, isn't it, guys? So what do you do then? Then you basically have some viral loops like social sharing. Give people a reason to share, and you multiply traffic. That's how you would want to build your content strategy. So this is